Hey y'all, this is Robin, and today I'm going to show you how to make this arrangement. I hope you enjoy it, and be sure to like and subscribe. Well, hey y'all, I'm Robin, and I'm about to redo an arrangement that usually sits right here, but since I've added Christmas stuff to it, and it's gotten terrible. So I took it all apart, and for the most part, a lot of the stuff's already pre-cut, so you won't really see that, but I can kind of show you as I go. But anyway, so I'm gonna just show you how to do this very large arrangement. This is a little bit more advanced because there's no styrofoam, and so it's a little bit more difficult to do it without styrofoam. But this one, you'll see why I can't use styrofoam. So anyway, this is the vase I chose. It was black with brown up here, but because it didn't go with my decor, I painted the lower half white and the top gold. So, but anyway, most of the time, if I can, I like to do arrangements where it's actually gonna go, because I'll see what my parameters are and how high it can actually go. So that's really works the best, but especially when you got something big going on. So the first thing I'm gonna do is the biggest pieces. And I took some PVC pipe, just your basic ones of 1 inch. I just had what I had in the garage, and they're basically almost they're gonna be 3 different heights when I put them in there, but for the most part, you want something like that where it's, you know, it's stair-stepped. So I'm gonna put them all in my vase, and I'll probably move these up as I go, but you want to spread them out in like a 3, like one in the middle, and just like that. So this I'll probably be able to pull up a little bit more once I get more stuff in it, but for now, that's how it's gonna go. So I'm gonna keep turning it back and forth, but there's a little white spot, so I'm just gonna turn it, but basically just get a can of gold paint and spray some pipes or whatever. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is, now this I didn't paint, but you could very well, see, I should have cleaned this one. And one of the things, I'm glad that this is dirty, but a lot of times people are so afraid to clean their floral arrangements, and actually it's really easy. You just, for the most part, like this, I'm just pulling it off, but I just washed everything that's on the floor over here that I'll show you later, because it was covered in dust bunnies and some glitter from Christmas. But anyway, so this one I actually bought. It's plastic, and it was pre-painted, but the cool part, I love to do this, to find things in my yard for free. You can go outside in your yard and probably find something very similar to this and spray paint it yourself. But, so I'm gonna set this, and you're gonna be doing a lot of adjusting, because that's what I'm saying, this is a little bit more advanced, because you have things sort of teetering on there, and it'll move, and then you just have to readjust it. But anyway, so the next thing, these were just some painted sticks I got at probably Hobby Lobby. There's several of them. I have a couple more down here. So, see how that's already moved a little bit? But I'm gonna have some more height. I'm just pushing it back, kind of finding a spot. So like this arrangement for sure, I would need to do on location, because it's just too many precarious ways. So like when you find a place that it'll stay, you kind of keep them with that same height, and then you want just various different heights. And I can see they're the same height right now, but once I get more stuff in there, I'll be able to adjust it more. But once you kind of get them in there, in the general vicinity of where you're gonna be putting it, and because this vase is narrow, That's another thing. You really want something that's more narrow up here than something really big. The bigger the top of the vase is, the more stuff you're gonna need, and just the harder it is to, I mean, you would have to use styrofoam on that situation, but yeah, anyway, so the smaller the hole, the less stuff you have to get, really. Okay, and most of the stuff comes like this at the store. So I actually did this back like it was so I can show you. You just want to start at the bottom and take your thumb, and you're just little by little like making an arch with it. And you don't want to just take it and bend it because it doesn't really do anything. But you just gently work down the leaf or blade or whatever you call that. So you just want to make it look as natural as you can. You know, it all wants to flare out. So this one is going to be behind here, kind of being a backdrop. The green, see how you can see stuff's already fallen, but as you go, you can adjust the height a little bit. So I'll start with that one, and this is another one. But I just put this in my sink and ran water over it and then dried it off. You don't even have to put, now some, I've done this before, you can take, you know, like that window cleaner, it's the aerosol. And you can spray your arrangements down with that. And that foam actually like clings to the dust and the dirt, and it just kind of drips off. And that has been, like if you have an arrangement you don't want to take apart, you just want to freshen it up a little bit, you can do that, and that helps a lot. So anyway, this is going to end up being higher, so this one will be much lower down in the front. So you can kind of see how that's already looking better. This is too close to this one, but like I said, when I get to the end, I'll kind of adjust things. You can already tell I don't like that there. So I may try it right there. I like that because it's higher. I do have another short one that I'm gonna probably put in the front. These you can just break off, snap them off, or just get some cutters and cut it like that'll have to go up. But anyway, that's a start. Then I found these. That's what other thing I like. Like I have a magnolia tree, and when those leaves dry, they turn orange or kind of brown, and the back's orange, but they hold up for a long time. So fall is a great time. I use them all the time. I've spray painted them gold, I've spray painted them white, just different colors, and they're perfect for doing something like this because they will stay like that and they just are dried. So this PVC pipe has a hole in it, and so I'm going to use that hole and drop this so I can get some of this up in the front. Yep, so you run into stuff like that, but it's not a big deal. Unless you have a cat that wants to take over. There is. So you're kind of getting your bigger pieces. No, ma'am. That's that one I had up high. It's probably gonna move again, but we'll deal with it. I kind of want to get that back behind there. Don't be afraid to use other stuff around, you know, like this branch, if I wanted that to keep it back, then I just move that forward. That's trash. Now I have two tall, heavier leaves. So you're just kind of trying to set it there. So you usually want like higher and then lower. So see how that really needs to kind of help ground this? I put this right here. I feel like I'm playing Jenga with an arrangement. You see I've got that going out, that going out. So I've got different heights. So nothing is really flat. Everything is has more movement. And this one flipped over, so. When things don't have wire to them, they're way more difficult to work with because they just don't want to do what you want them to do. But when they do, and sometimes when they do have wire, it doesn't always do what you want it to do. There, that's better. Okay, so now I have these 3 big protea. They're called King's protea. They kind of look like a crown. They have the pincushion one, which is really cool. It's got like these little, but I love protea is very more contemporary. You have a more contemporary feel. Like you wouldn't want to use roses in this type of an arrangement. It just doesn't fit the, what we're going with. So since I have a lot of pink and a piece of art, I don't know if you can see, but I have a couple like hot pink and other different colors. I'm just gonna bring some color in with this. Just kind of make a slight angle. So that one's kind of looking that way. Then I'll put one right about in there. So I'm not going to cut it. I redo stuff all the time, and I try not to cut stuff just because once I cut it, then that's how it is. Gonna have to bring that up a little bit, but now this one I'm gonna have to cut because I want it down low like that. So I am gonna cut a little bit off. And I will tell you these, you need to get some good wire cutters. These are called a diagonal or a dike, and that's what I typically always use. It's heavier, but it's easy to, it's like a claw kind of thing. But that's a must-have. You can't really, especially with these big stems, like you can't. So this one's gonna go right in there. See, this doesn't have much wire to it, so it's not wanting to behave. But I did get these at, believe it or not, Walmart. They were like $3. And these are really good quality, besides the fact that this doesn't have wire in it. But so I've got a little, it's kind of like a seeded succulent, thank you. And it needs to go just right there. See how it just kind of comes down? I'm gonna add some more hanging down stuff too. But, and I also got these pampas grass looking, this faux, at Walmart, or I could have got them at Hobby Lobby, but anyway, so I'm just gonna kind of put those. It's too close to that, so I need to has a little bit too much arch to it. And see, these pieces of wood, some of them have holes in them. So I'm gonna see if that'll, see, look, how wonderful. So I'm gonna need one over here. We need more stuff because that needs to be about right there. So we'll pull that up. Put one in the back from the side. And then we'll just put this one right in the front. So many people are afraid to try stuff. It's like, so what? What if you got this and you didn't like the way it looked? You could either call somebody that knows what they're doing and have them do it, or take the stuff back. I mean, but I think the more you do it, obviously, the better you're gonna get at it. But, you know, it's just a few principles that you wanna follow. Need a little bit more green right over here. Because my thing is tight, it's getting a little difficult to find spaces to put stuff. Sorry about the humming. I tend to hum when I'm working. So that kind of helps with that down at the bottom too. So I just love this stuff. I love the color, and the piece of art that I have hanging in here has a lot of this chartreusey kind of color. It just adds a little bit of warmth. So when you're cutting off from a bush, you want to get all the way down to the closest you can to the where the big part, the handle is. And I just cut off like about 3 pieces at a time, because if you put that whole thing just in one spot, it's too heavy in that one spot. So this is going to kind of help fill it up, make it a little softer. See how that just kind of, see, I thought I did too. Sometimes I have longer ones in the middle, and if I need length, then I'm gonna leave those longer ones, maybe a longer one and a shorter one, because I'll show you that I use this as my part of my height. And normally I glue my stuff, but because this doesn't have styrofoam in it, I opted to not do it and give myself a little bit more room to adjust things after I'm done. And so, but most of the time I use a skillet. Like I go to Goodwill and I get a skillet, just like your electric skillet you cook in, and you either put, they do make skillet glue for professionals. You have to get it at the wholesale. But it's like these little orange or gold, like look like little pillows, and you put that in the skillet. So then instead of having to use a glue gun, you know, pick that up, pick this up, glue that, then anyway, you just dip it in the skillet and put it right where, and that glue is a lot more, it's just stickier, and it dries faster, and it gives you more, it just feels sturdier than if you, and you don't have near as much of the glue strings from a glue gun, because when you dip it, you kind of swirl it at the end. That way you're getting all the glue strings off. So anyway, see, I think this right here just kind of makes this arrangement. So you see I left this one, it's gonna be my length because I need some right in there. I want this to hang down, so I bend it more. Okay, so this is my piece that I left longer. And I'm gonna tuck it right back here to hide that white stem, and also give it some more height, bring that up a little bit higher. Okay, and then this one it's kind of a grays and purple, or I don't really like lavender, but it needed something smaller. So you really need some big pieces, like a couple of really big pieces, like a bigger flower, or just something substantial. And then you'll need the medium ones, and then you have smaller things. So this is like your smaller, quote, fillers. And same thing here, I'm just gonna clip off around the bottom and leave at least 2 on the stem for the height. Things are feeling a little tighter now because we've put a lot more stuff in there. Okay, so I'm gonna feel like I need a little bit right back in here. And the cool thing with this, because it's next to a mirror, it's reflecting the back, so I do have to make sure that the back looks good as well, because you're seeing the back from the mirror. So it's almost like doubling that when you put it in front of a mirror. So yeah, you can get a better look of how it's coming along. These are being a little like wild hairs. It's kind of bugging me, but it'll be all right. Okay, let's see, I do have some more of this, so I'm gonna put some more back on that back side. And don't feel like you have to use all of it. Don't use it just for the sake of, because it's there, you know. Okay, remember I said I was gonna do a little bit more hanging down here. So I have this plant. And so all I'm gonna do is, you'll never even know I've done it because it won't be missing. But I cut down by the stem. So that's how much I got. See, you won't even know that I took anything from that. So that still looks good. I'm always doing that, borrowing. And because this has a couple, like, I just really want that longer. One to go in the front right here. And I'm just really trying to find a place where I can just stick this so that it'll stay. I don't want to overtake this, but I still like that a little bit longer in the front. So I still have this, so I can do this back here. Sometimes finding a spot is a little difficult, but there you go. Let's see. So I'm gonna look around. Like, I don't really like this leaf right here, so I'm going to cut it off. I'm either gonna put it like that. That's much better than where it was. And let's see. I think it looks pretty darn good. We might use something a little green right here. So what I'm going to do, I have these two things which are part of this, but I'm going to cut these off because I don't really want any more of that. So I'm going to cut them as long as I can so I have the length if I need it later. You see how this is all jacked up? That has got to go. Okay, so now I'm left with just this. And these you can just kind of take with your hand a little bit and kind of like you do ribbon, sort of, but be careful, you kind of sometimes can get cut, but I'm just kind of making it not be quite so straight up because this needs a little bit of green right in here. And that just kind of filled in that one little spot. And I have this one guy here, this is a ginger, and I'm thinking, do I want that right there? Ideally, I would have another one right here, but I don't have another one. So I'm gonna see if I can just get away with doing this one, because I kind of like it. That's what I'm saying, there's always rules, but sometimes you can break them and just do whatever. Like, I feel like it needed that. And I may have something in my garage that I can use that has a little bit more of that color in it. But, I mean, even if I didn't, I think it still looks great. So, ta-da. There is a big, I'll call it statement arrangement. Like when you first walk in, kind of like you want something, bam. And I have tried a lamp there. I've tried a tall piece of decor. Nothing has really looked as good as that. And we can still see ourselves, like to check our whatever when we go outside. But anyway, that's what it needed. And I do think arrangements kind of had its thing in the past, but it's coming back. And I love them because it really does make it feel more homey, and all these surfaces absorb sound. So like if you're in a new house and you have really echoey, the things you really need are window treatments or curtains. I like to call them panels if you buy them. Window treatments usually are when it's custom made, but panels are what you get at the store. Curtains are the ones that come in a little package that you put over a kitchen window. So anyway, but the two things that really do help, or three things, with that real echoey sound of a brand new house when it's not full enough is rugs help a lot, window treatments or panels, and like other soft surfaces like pillows and even arrangements that's still got a lot of soft surface that will kind of help the sound from bouncing around so much. It makes it feel homier. So anyway, I'll show you a picture a little bit of what it looked like with nothing there, and then with it there, and so you can see what a big difference that it makes. So I hope you enjoyed that, and happy to do more.